desert, swallowing everything around me. The silence was heavy, broken only by the hum of my car and the faint whistle of wind outside. The radio had long gone to static. There was nothing but me, the dark road, and the fear of running out of gas in the middle of nowhere. For miles, the only lights I saw were the stars. Then I caught sight of a faded sign on the shoulder. Gas! 2 miles. Relief washed over me for a second, but unease came quickly after. 2 miles off the interstate in the middle of the desert. That wasn't normal. Still, my fuel gauge was nearly on empty. I told myself I had no choice. The road to the station was narrow, cracked, and lined with weeds that had forced their way through the asphalt. My headlights caught broken glass and rusting cans on the side of the road. It felt like I was being funneled somewhere I didn't belong. Finally, the station came into view. It looked like a ghost of its former self. One buzzing fluorescent light flickered above the pumps, throwing shadows across cracked concrete. The building itself looked abandoned, its windows covered in grime, a single vending machine glowing faintly near the door. I sat in the car for a moment, debating. The tank was nearly dry. I couldn't risk breaking down on the highway, so I stepped out. The desert air was thick, silent except for the buzzing of that light overhead. I grabbed the nozzle and started fueling. That was when I noticed him. A man stepped from behind the building. He moved slowly, his hands in his pockets, his smile stretched too wide. His eyes didn't blink. They locked on me, and I felt a shiver run through my entire body. "Little late to be out here," he said. His voice was syrupy, slow, the kind of voice that sounded practiced, false. I forced a polite smile, muttered something about running low on gas. Before I could turn away, another man appeared, stepping out from behind the vending machine. He grinned, tilting his head like he already knew something about me. My pulse raced. I set the nozzle back, pretending I was calm, pretending I wasn't about to run. I reached for my door, but before I could grab it, a hand clamped onto my arm, and everything went black. I woke, tied to a chair. The air was thick, suffocating. Chains and hooks dangled from the ceiling. Rusted saws lined the walls. The stench of oil, mildew, and something sharper, something like blood, burned my nose. The room was dim, lit by a single yellow bulb swaying above me. I pulled at the ropes until my wrists burned. They didn't budge. Through the door, I heard them talking. "She'll keep till morning. We need more stuff." Laughter followed, heavy footsteps fading until silence returned. I wasn't alone. Behind a rotted door, I heard muffled voices, whispers, crying, other captives. That's when the realization hit. This wasn't random. This place had been used before, for a long time. Hours dragged by. Every sound made my chest tighten. The hum of an old refrigerator, the drip of water in the corner, the distant creak of pipes. I thought about screaming, but what if they were still nearby? I closed my eyes. Memories of my family, my friends, my normal life. They felt so far away. I wondered if I'd ever see them again. Then, headlights. They cut across the window, sweeping the room in harsh white. My chest seized. They were back. The kidnappers had returned. Footsteps crunched outside. Laughter echoed. I braced myself, heart hammering so hard I thought it might stop. The knob turned, slow, deliberate. The door creaked open, but instead of the men, it was a group of college kids, drunk, loud, oblivious. They stumbled inside, carrying half-empty beer cans, mid-laughter, until they saw me. The laughter died instantly. My scream tore out of me before I could stop it. They cut me loose, my wrists burning. I told them about the locked door. Together, they kicked it open. The smell hit us immediately. Rot, sweat, decay. Inside were at least 5 people, some barely conscious, some sobbing, some too weak to move. The kids pulled them out one by one, pale faces etched with terror. Some of them whispered about how long they'd been there, days, weeks, longer. We didn't wait. All of the rescued captives climbed into my SUV with me, while the college kids piled back into their own vehicle. Engines roared to life as we peeled out of that station, gravel spitting under our tires. That was when blinding headlights appeared in the rearview mirror. The kidnappers, they were back. Their truck roared to life behind us, tires spitting gravel, rage filling the night. I floored the gas, my SUV fishtailing before it caught grip on the cracked asphalt. Beside me, the college kid's SUV swerved, its lights flashing wildly. The truck closed in fast, horn blaring, lights flooding the road. The kids screamed, shouting at me to go faster. One of them cried. Another cursed under his breath. The rescued captives sat silently, their hollow eyes wide with terror. The truck rammed us once, the impact jolting my bones. My car swerved, tires screeching, but I held tight. The desert blurred by, dust clouds rising in the rear view. For miles, the chase dragged on. The truck swerved left, then right, trying to push us off the road. Each time I fought to keep control. Every second felt like an eternity. Finally, a glow appeared on the horizon. Streetlights, gas stations, civilization. The truck slowed. Its lights shrank in the mirror until they disappeared into the desert night. I pulled over in town, shaking, tears burning my eyes. The rescued captives huddled together in the back, whispering, clinging to each other as though they might disappear. The college kids sat in stunned silence, their drunken laughter gone, replaced by pale shock. For the first time in hours, I could breathe. Hands trembling, I grabbed my phone and finally had service. Together, we called the police. Within minutes, sirens filled the night, officers rushing us to safety. Paramedics tended to the captives, wrapping them in blankets, asking questions none of us could answer. Even after the sirens, the statements, and the flashing lights, I couldn't breathe right. The cops were chasing them, sure. But the truth is, I'll never drive a lonely road the same way again. Because I know in some forgotten gas station, behind some rotted door, someone else might still be waiting to be found.